right, boys, today we got a fun little video. Today we're going to be talking about cards that I think are super underrated at every single position. Now, we're going to get it started at quarterback right here. Now, a quarterback that I think has kind of went under the radar. You're going to see a lot of these theme team all-star 92 overalls today. Baker Mayfield for me. Baker Mayfield obviously can get up to a 99 overall with 93 speed, 99 throw power, amazing accuracies. But the reason why I say he's so underrated, right? It's not to do really with stats. It's this right here, the Slinger 7 release. I feel like he has one of the most underrated releases in the game. And out the theme team all-star 92s, I would say he's the best. Also underrated thing, I know Tom Brady does get it now, but the charge up Omaha was on these cards first. And that is a pretty busted thing in the game right now. So I just really like this Baker Mayfield. Another card that, again, theme team all-star. You're going to see a decent amount of them today because also I feel like the 94s, the 97s, even the 99 base cards kind of overshadowed these because they were so like insane from an ability standpoint, right? But Najee Harris, once again, up to a 99 overall. And this card is 6'2", 242. This is really the big thing for me. And when we look at Najee Harris's abilities, he can also get the route tech and jukebox combo at 6'2", 242. I said this in a previous video, but I feel like he's a happy medium between like, you know, Mike Allstott, William Perry on like the can't juke, can't get the quick juke, but gonna fall forward, gonna break a ton of tackles compared to maybe like, I don't want to say Dree Archer, just someone that's like really, really small, right? Like I feel like he's right in the middle right there. He has a really good player model, and I think he's one of the better running backs in the game. You just don't see a lot of them because Perry, you got Michael Penix as well in this promo for like a super budget, and he's somewhere like right in the middle, but I think he's a great card, so I wanted to spotlight him. Now I am gonna have a fullback today, and the fullback that I want to say is a little bit underrated, okay, is Dolphins great Alec Ingold. So he gets the goal line back, he gets the honorary lineman, not Dolphins bias, I promise, but just feel like, again, with Trent Williams being in the game now, I think for a while, I know the Vanguard makes it like super good, but I think running just as a whole has been pretty solid for a while with some of these abilities that we got, like the honorary lineman, goal line back, stuff like that, like even run off elite. Now Vanguard with all that stuff is kind of overpowered, but I still think Alec Ingold can get the job done at fullback. And we're gonna go to wide receiver right here. First one we're gonna have is a actual free card right here. So George Pickens, 92 overall right here. You can upgrade him for free up to a 97. You could choose between him or Chris Carter. Love this George Pickens card. He's 6'3", 200, 97 speed, does get that jukebox ability for 0 AP, so gonna be really great after the catch. Other things I really like about the card, hits all the route running thresholds, but also has really high impact blocking, which does help in the run game. And again, for a free card, I think he's one of the better options we've gotten all year long. Now, wide receiver 2, this is gonna be another cheap card from the Infinite Flux promo that I just feel like you don't see a lot of. It's gonna be Chris Godwin, specifically the specialist, 6'1", 96 speed, hits 90 for route runnings across the board. Good player model. Like I like that between 6 foot, 6'2" height. Again, I think it's a good little balance between like, you know, like the tall players I think do a better job running their routes, and the short players get better possession catch animations. Also, let me know down below in the comments if you guys want to see a video on tall receivers for short receivers. I've been thinking about making it for a little while now, just to show you guys like in action, like my thoughts, why certain things work the way they do, if that makes sense. So another jukebox for 0 receiver right here. Really like Chris Godwin. And at wide receiver 3 for me, I'm gonna have a card that I feel like ever since he came out, super underrated. Isaac Bruce, 6 foot height, 97 speed. Again, another jukebox for 0 guy, but also gets that run off elite with a pre-lit X factor. I feel like all year long, he's kind of just flown under the radar a little bit. I still think he's a really good card in the game right now. And for offensive line, I don't think there's any underrated offensive linemen. Really, the only things that I'd say is maybe a little bit underrated are cards like the rookies, like say like Graham Barton, right? That get nasty streak for 0. Now, do I think you should run this if you're a passer? No. But like these cards that are rookies like Graham Barton getting the nasty streak for 0, I feel like they're good utility players as well. Say if you want to run the ball, you sub them in. But then again, they don't get secure protector. So for me, I don't really think there's any underrated offensive linemen. But rounding out the offense right here, we are going to have tight ends. I think it's Tyler Higbee 100%. Another theme team all-star guy, I know. So up to a 99 overall, 97 speed, 94 acceleration, does not get that quick juke animation. But right now in the current meta of the game, I feel like this really doesn't matter a ton on the tight ends, and I'll explain why. So he's not the best run blocker in the world either, but what can he get that, again, makes him underrated in my opinion? Well, can get the Vanguard for 0. That's a charge up, on for 6 plays, off for 3. And then also just base abilities as well right here. Can get things like a secure protector comboed with maybe honorary lineman, you know? So this is like the ultimate blocking tight end in my opinion. Secure protector for 1 AP. I don't know if I said 0. If I did, my bad on that. But I feel like he, again, kind of flew under the radar a little bit, just what he can do as a blocker. And again, fits the current meta of the game to a T. And yeah, this is what the offensive side of the ball is looking like. Let's go over to the defensive side of the ball. And now at defense, we're going to start out the top safeties right here. This is a card right here that I feel like right now is underrated. I I feel like he had his time. You just don't see him a lot anymore. Kevin Byard, like obviously he's slower at this point. Free safety was a tough spot because all the best cards, best free safeties in the game are what, like over $1 million coins. Still does get that universal coverage X factor. You don't have to spend AP on this card, but I would recommend using a pre-lit X factor spot. Mid-zone knockout, pick artist for 0. And then again, the universal coverage, 0 AP on this card. I get he's only 95 speed, but with that universal, I think he can still hold it down. Now, is it ideal? Is he the best free safety in the game? No. This isn't a bad like tactical downgrade player where, okay, I'm gonna sell off Brian Dawkins for like his mill or whatever, and then I'm gonna run Kevin Byard just to save a little bit of coins. And in strong safety right here, another card that I feel like kind of flew under the radar ever since he's been out. Nolan Cromwell, 6'1", 97 speed. Now, the reason why I think he flew under the radar, he did come out when Troy P came out, but also he gets deep zone knockout, mid zone knockout, 2 AP total instead of the 1 AP that we're used to. But we just have so much AP flexibility on defense now that I think that's even more runnable. And again, he does have decent height as well with 6'1". So I think he's a really solid just value card. And now we're gonna go ahead and go to cornerback right here to round out our secondary. At corner 1 and 2, again, these are gonna be 2 theme team all-star guys that I feel like got a little bit overshadowed by cards that did drop at the same time. We're gonna have Derek Stingley and also JC Horn. I really wanted to put Christian Gonzalez right here, but he actually doesn't get any zone knockout. So from an ability standpoint, JC Horn and Derek Stingley are going to be the exact same. And again, we'll show JC Horn's stats: 98 speed, 99 acceleration on Derek Stingley, 6 foot height, does have that play ball and air aggressive. Now, there's a couple things that I think are underrated. So they do get the charge of X factor, on for 6 plays, off for 3. You could run universal coverage. You could run bottleneck if you wanted to. I don't really recommend shutdown or zone hawk, but universal coverage, bottleneck, 0 AP. You can you can do it. I don't mind that at all. And also you can combo that with say a persistent to make it on for 8 plays, off for 3. That makes a ton of sense as well. But when we look at just like base discounts, right? It depends. What scheme do you run? Do you run man? Do you run zone? Deep out zone knockout, mid zone knockout, great combo on the outside corner. You can also combo that say with a pick artist. You can do that as well. 2 AP. That's not the most insane thing in the world to spend on these cards. If you run man coverage though, you could run 1 step ahead for 0 and then like medium route knockout for 0, or you could go deep route knockout, medium route knockout, or deep route knockout, short route knockout. These cards have a ton of flexibility from an ability standpoint, and also just showing off JC Horn stats right here. He is 99 speed, 99 acceleration, 6'1" height, amazing man zone and press. So yeah, I like these 2 cards right here. Again, kind of flew under the radar with like Kyle Pitts, Joe Wall coming out, and then we also got, you know, Harold Carmichael at strong safety. Bunch of beastly cards that did drop. Paul Krause at free safety, of course. Now at CB3, this is a slot corner. I'm not gonna play an actual corner right here. I just want to spotlight a card that I think is really good in this like slot corner role that can do a lot for you, and it's Harrison Smith for me. Now this is a card that can get up to a 99 overall. This is a free card as well. 6'2" height, 97 speed, 98 acceleration. Man and zone are good, and also he has some good in the box stats as well, which is actually pretty nice on a slot corner. And for abilities, mid zone knockout, pick artist for 0 on him, not bad at all for a free card as well. I feel like we're used to like the Chris Harrises of the world. Just wanted to show someone a little bit different today, Harrison Smith. Now let's go over the front 7 right here. We're gonna go over linebackers first. Now right outside linebacker right here, I am going to have another theme team all-star guy, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah right here. Now he can get up to a 99. Now this card does have a couple weaknesses with the block shed, power moves, finesse moves. Not a rusher, but I think he's a pretty solid user. I get the block sheds low, but 6'2", 97 speed, 98 acceleration. What I would run on this card, right, from an ability standpoint, let's take a look. So first off, from a X factor standpoint, you can get things like reinforcement, which is nice. Some people say it counters Vanguard. I think it really depends on the player. Like I had Derwin James with reinforcement, and Trent Williams just still had his way with them. Can run X factor on this player, and also he can get the film study for 0, which is great. You can get the lurk artist for 0. Also underrated thing as well, if you want to treat him, maybe you run the dollar A gap blitz, under pressure and edge threat elite as your blitzing player, which is usually your left of screen linebacker, getting that under pressure bonus. I know a lot of people have Brady, but some people don't have Brady. Still helps with the under pressures, of course. And yeah, you could go lurk artist, you could go mid zone knockout for 0, or what you could do as well, lurk artist, mid zone knockout, 0 AP on this card. I like it. Think he's a pretty solid user in the game. Now, middle linebacker right here, we're gonna have another theme team all-star guy, and I feel like this one might be one of the most underrated in the entire game. I picked up this card, right, and he was on like my top 5 user list, and I had so many people saying, who is this? Jamin Davis, 6'4" height, 98 speed, 99 acceleration, great zone. Again, same exact ability combo that we just covered with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. You could go a tackle supreme, mid zone knockout, lurk artist, 1 AP on this card though. And to me, you know who he kind of is like? He's like a baby Calvin Johnson golden ticket. A lot cheaper as well. You could build him a lot cheaper. And he's 98 speed, 6'4", so missing an inch of height, but this card can move, and he's one of my favorite cards in the game for sure. Now, at middle linebacker 2 right here, this is a card that wasn't underrated before, but I feel like now he kind of is, and that's going to be Derek Carr. So we look at Derek Carr, 95 speed, 94 acceleration. This is pretty bad at this point. Not too great physical stats, but this card, what it'll play, flats, hooks. You don't need the fastest player in the world. He does have 6'3" height as well. And when we look at his abilities though, this is what kind of sold me as just like a card that's well worth his price. So can get the reinforcement, elevated 3 after 3 plays will be on every single play of the game, and just base abilities right here. You could go the mid zone knockout for 1 or out of my way for 1 if you really want to try to neutralize the vanguards. Secure tackler for 0, strip specialist for 0, and then you could also go like lurk artist for 1. Spend maybe 2 AP on this card. It's not the craziest thing in the world. Also, you could go lurk artist mid zone and then like a secure tackle for 2. Like there's a lot of flexibility on this card as well with that reinforcement. So yeah, I just think at this point a little bit underrated. Now left outside linebacker right here, we're gonna have like an interesting card right here. This is a card that's rolling the entire game is kind of like a little bit tough because he's a straight up pass rusher, not a pass coverage player. So Lamar Woodley, 93 speed, 93 acceleration. Now for his abilities though, right, this is again kind of like the selling point for me. So he can go ahead and get lurk artist tackle supreme for 0. So the tackle supreme should do a little bit better job for his jukebox. Can still get faked out though. The unfakeable can be fakeable at sometimes, but lurk artist for 0 as well. Can someone drop into a zone, but no mid zone or anything. He can animate. I think the lurk artist for him, what that's good for is heavy pressure defense, ball up in the air. He can go ahead and catch it and get an animation that way, like quarterback throw out a sack type animation. So I think he can provide value for you, and don't see a lot of people running him. Now, at defensive end, we're gonna have 2 theme team all-star players once again. I have Dolphins great Zach Sealer right here. I'm not gonna have Rashawn Gary because I think people know Rashawn Gary is really, really good. We're also gonna have Cameron Hayward as well. Now, these 2 cards right here are kind of big bodies, but they're decently fast as well. They get the same exact ability stack. So to me, we're just gonna cover Cameron Hayward again, fast, 94 speed, 93 acceleration, 99 power moves, 90 finesse moves, and this time for Cameron Hayward's abilities does get a bunch of X factors, which again, fearmonger. I know some people run Brady. I'm just saying that on the pressure boost, the reinforcement, or the unstoppable force, the blitz X factor to just wipe the resistance of offensive linemen. I like these 2 cards a lot, man. And Cameron Hayward, again, they get the same exact abilities. So you could go like a film study for 0, which I like because inside stuff does get countered by secure protector, film study, potentially secure tackler on one of these cards, and then maybe like an inside stuff secure tackler or an edge shred elite secure tackler, whatever you want to do. But those are the 2 things I would run this card. And again, the fact that they get X factors and the film study ability, I think that's what really makes these cards so valuable. Now, a defensive tackle right here, again, we're gonna have 2 guys. We're gonna have Tommy Harris right here. That again, main thing for me is you just don't see a lot of them in my opinion. So 93 speed, 98 acceleration, abilities on him, interior threat, secure tackler for 0. I like the double 0 AP abilities right here. I think that's a really nice stack. Now, a defensive tackle too, I promise I'm not just trying to have like Dolphins on the list, but I'm gonna have Christian Wilkins for the fact that I personally, when I first looked at the card, I'm like, he's trash because his pass rush is trash, but his abilities are once again super nice. So kind of like what I was saying on Cameron Hayward and Zach Sealer, does get the pre-lit X factor, so you can run that. Also, I think the big thing on him is getting like the film study and then say like secure tackler for 0, and then that opens up like edge shred elite on these 2 guys if you wanted to do that, or inside stuff on these 2 guys. So yeah, and also like for special teams, I don't really think there's an underrated kicker in the game. I really don't. I don't really think there's an underrated punter. I think they're just kind of spots where kind of like offensive linemen, they get the slow meter abilities, they get the clutch straight. So yeah, boys, this has been my most underrated lineup in Madden 24 Ultimate Team. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know if you guys have a underrated card that maybe I did not include on this list. If you guys did enjoy the video though, you enjoy content like this, want even more, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe. Now, if you guys do want to go ahead and see me use these cards live on stream, I stream almost every single day here on YouTube and Twitch. To watch on the YouTube side of things, make sure to hit that noti bell as well. You'll be notified every time I upload or go live here. Or if you want to watch on the Twitch, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. But if you guys do want another video to watch, check out this one right here, because these were my best value cards in Madden 24.